Before this video begins, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Petzl, as they were the ones to provide me with these carabiners and QuickDraws. Thanks again, Petzl, for being able to do that. If you find yourself needing climbing equipment, I highly encourage you to check out Petzl. You can find them on the website petzl.com, and you can shop on there for all your climbing equipment needs. Okay, so by now you will probably know that I'm a big fan of Petzl equipment. I have a lot of their stuff. My ice axes are Petzl, and I have a lot of things that are Petzl. I like their equipment, and I think it has a high quality to it. A lot of their stuff that they make is great. It's bomber, and the design of it is pretty practical without having any like random flares that make it, different. A lot of their stuff is just straightforward and to the point, and that's what I really like a lot about Petzl's equipment. And that's no exception for the Spirit. The Spirit is one of Petzl's best-selling carabiners. I think it's been on the market for like 20 years. I've seen some of the original ones, and looking at the ones today, they haven't changed that much. And I'm glad to say that even with a new 2022 update, the Spirit hasn't changed that much, but it has changed a little bit. So that's what I'm here to talk about. So Petzl actually just released, not too long ago, the new Petzl Spirit carabiner and the Spirit Express QuickDraw. Now there's some differences between them, and we'll kind of go over that. But I think what I'm going to start with first is the Petzl Spirit carabiner. So the Spirit carabiner, like I said, hasn't changed much. Like, this is the regular carabiner, the straight gate carabiner. You can see that overall, it hasn't changed that much. Clipping action is the same. Got a high tension for the spring, so it just closes really fast. And what they're pretty much able to do with this new Spirit carabiner is just get down the weight. And they kind of did that by doing just some cutouts. Like you can see right there, like there's some just holes in the carabiner. And they were able to cut out some weight without reducing the strength of the carabiner. And that was a big thing, is that they didn't want to compromise the strength of the carabiner. So the Spirit is still as strong as it ever was, but it's a little bit less weight. And that's kind of nice, because surprisingly, with this new weight total for when it's all in the same package in the Spirit Express QuickDraw, it's actually getting farther and farther down to where I would basically now consider using the Spirit Express for doing some alpine missions. Like before, a lot of the Spirit stuff was just all like hardcore sport climbing. And they were kind of heavy, but not too heavy, but they were just burly and they were going to last a long time. But you normally use them for sport climbing. Now, with everything how it is, with all the weights of everything, I would almost consider using some of these for some even like trad climbing, or like I said, alpine climbing. So Spirit itself has gotten a little bit lighter, so that's really great to see. But it's also great to see that they haven't changed a whole lot. Now, the carabiner does come in two different versions. There is the straight gate, and there is the bent gate. But what's different about this for 2022 and now with the new Spirit is you can now buy them in a multi-pack. This multi-pack is really great just because, if you ever find yourself needing more carabiners, well, now you can have a bunch of Spirits. And the color coding is really nice because you can color code your gear. If you have certain cams that you want on a certain carabiner, you can color code them now. And it just gives you more options for colors if you just want to have something of that specific color. Now, I will say that I'm pretty sure that so far, all the colored carabiners are only in a bent gate. And in a traditional sense, the bent gate is always the rope end and the straight gate is always the bolt end. So just know that you are going to get a bent gate. And with all of these, even the silver one, they're all bent gates. So just be aware of that. But it is super great to see that Petzl has them in a multi-pack now. It's super convenient, because even before, you could only buy the Spirit in just a single carabiner. And like, let's say if you did want like 6 carabiners at once, you'd have to buy 6 individual packs, and it'd be kind of like a lot of waste because you get a lot of these and then just meh. Whereas this, now you get 6 carabiners all in one pack. So that's super awesome to see. But other than that, the Spirit hasn't changed much, and I think that's really great, because it kind of shows that Petzl really wasn't willing to just do this random overhaul just because, is that they wanted to do it, they wanted to refresh it, but they only changed a little bit and without compromising anything. And it still feels like this classic Spirit, maybe just a little bit more lightweight. But other than that, it's still the same, which that's great. And I think that goes to their design philosophy and their update philosophy. They kind of went with the same thing with updating the nomic coming from the old version to the new version. I think what really only changed was the handle, and I think how the shaft was formed, and that was really it. Everything stayed the same, and that's really great because it means, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's really great to see Petzl's not changing things just to change them, that there has to be a reason, and they got to make sure that reason won't compromise it. So with that being said, let's jump into the quick draws. Okay, so just for convenience, I put the other carabiners, the clipping ones, on the other quick draws, on the dog bones, just so you can actually see the 3 different quick draws and its different lengths. Just know that if you buy them pre-built, they will only come with the orange carabiner. The orange carabiner is kind of exclusive to the pre-built ones, or I think just the singles. You don't get the orange color in the multi-pack. So just know that what I have right here, it only comes in orange if you buy them pre-built. But if you wanted to build them yourself, you could get any different color that you wanted. But with that out of the way, yes, there's 3 quick draws, which is different from last time, because last time there was only a 17 and 11 centimeter quick draw. Now we have a 25 centimeter quick draw, which is very long. And sometimes that can actually prove to be more helpful. Previously, Petzl's made long quick draws before, but they've kind of been absent for a while. And they've been absent from a lot of companies for a while. So it's really great to actually see this come back, because there's a lot of great uses for this. Okay, so for some real-world use for the Petzl Spirit Express quick draws, what I kind of have right here is I'm at an anchor station right here, and a good use for the long quick draw is being able to clip it in to the bolt, and then being able to clip it into your belay loop, so you can use it as kind of like a personal anchor system or something along the lines, but you can use it to connect yourself to the anchor, so then when you go to clean it, you're always connected to it. So that's a great use for the long quick draw from Petzl, the new Spirit Express quick draw. So if you ever find yourself needing to extend anything, whether it be extending a clip from a bolt, 25 centimeter quick draw can also be super helpful. But what we see here is, it's their bread and butter. It's the 11 centimeter, which is probably one of the most popular sizes, and the 17 centimeter. I personally go for 17 centimeter quick draws all the time. My whole orange quick draws are all 17s. I like that length. I will think about adding some 25s here, because what's nice about this is that this is just the Express quick draw. So what makes it the Spirit Express is it's the Spirit carabiner and the Express quick draw. So you can just buy the Express dog bone itself, and then you can match it with whatever carabiner. So I'm almost thinking about adding a couple of these just in case I need, because if you have this total length, that's actually getting to the point where it's getting close to the length of an alpine draw. So that might be more versatile in some instances with alpine climbing as well as sport climbing and everything else. But overall, they haven't changed a whole lot. Probably actually one of the biggest changes, and one of the most changes that I'm kind of excited to see, is that they changed the string. So the string that you see here is the new updated string, and this is the old Spirit, or this is the old Express dog bone. You can kind of see that the string is different. And what's more exciting about this is that this string is coming to other quick draws as well from Petzl. I don't know about the orange quick draws just yet, but I know that the gin quick draws are getting this new string, and that kind of excites me, because so far I'm enjoying the string. Now, the string was no problem on the old Express quick draw. I could put my orange carabiner here, and it's kind of locked in. It's more locked in than the actually orange finesse quick draw, so I definitely like this one better. But already with just putting these 2 carabiners on these quick draws, it was a lot tougher to get them through, and they feel more locked in position than the old one. So I really like what they were able to do here, because it almost seems like they did it with less material, but they just made it the capture of the carabiner that much more better, and it just stays in place, which is super nice, because now you have a totally solid clipping point, and it's not going to move around. Not that it was ever a really big problem with the old Spirit Express quick draws, but they just figured out a way to make it better, and that's really awesome to see. So it gives me more security and faith in this, that this won't move. And I'm excited to see them hopefully phase away from this old string in general, hopefully with the orange QuickDraws, and move to this new platform because I'm a big fan of it. And like other than that, there's some like minor differences between the dog bones. You can kind of see stitching lines are a little bit different, but realistically they're the same. They're going to be great all-purpose, maybe not all-purpose, but like better for sport climbing. They're a little bit wider. All of them are kind of wider right here, so you can hold them and grab them. So if you're pulling yourself up on the climb, it doesn't cut into your hand. They're a little bit bigger. These are nylon dog bones, so they're going to last a while. They're going to be a little bit heavier than like the Dyneema ones for the Anish Finesse, but they're overall more burly, and they will, like I said, last a lot longer. But the overall weight for these QuickDraws are kind of cool to see because they're all down from their previous versions. And that's in part from some weight savings within the carabiner. I'm also guessing some weight savings within the actual dog bone itself. I'll put the weights for all these up here on the screen on the video. But it is really nice to see that they've updated these things, and now they're getting the weight a little bit closer to where I'm considering using these for alpine climbing and other stuff. So I'm super excited to see that they updated it, but what I'm most excited for to see is that they updated it, but they didn't update it out of like just because they could. They, like I said, they really kind of took their time with this and really analyzed and like saw whether it was worth it and what could they change without changing the whole system. And it's really nice to see that the Spirit is still the same Spirit carabiner, just with a little bit of slight difference. And I am really happy for this 25 centimeter QuickDraw. It's really nice to see that long of a dog bone, and I think there's going to be a lot of uses for this. So with that being said, that kind of wraps it up for the new Spirit Express QuickDraws. They're really just kind of the same with a little bit of updates. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions about these QuickDraws, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to get to it as soon as possible. And yeah, that does it for me here. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.